Chelsea Football Club lose to Manchester City. However, the controversy is crazy. Noni Madueke is once again the topic of conversation for non-footballing reasons. It's actually getting hilarious at this point. Then we've got Thiago Silva basically saying the confirmation that he's leaving the club. I'm sad. I genuinely am sad. And he's stuck in a moment that epitomizes Chelsea Football Club more than any other for a considerable period of time. And then we need to talk about the harsh reality of what's happening at our football club. Because uncomfortable conversations have to happen. I think that expression is really overused. Uncomfortable conversations and unpopular opinions. And in this case, this uncomfortable conversation needs to be held. Because Nicholas Jackson, in my opinion, I was very critical on his finish. However, he shouldn't be in this position. We've got an issue with people consistently saying we need experience. I'm going to tell you why that's a myth. And more importantly, the biggest one of all, this summer will dictate where Chelsea Football Club goes in the foreseeable future. Because I'm not going to be extreme and say we're never going to win a trophy, because that's nonsense. But I am going to say this summer dictates whether we're going to be a top 4 club at bare minimum or we're going to be a mid-table club for at least the next 5 years. Let's get into it. Let's break this down. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I want 1,000 likes on this video, by the way. Guys, if you're consistently watching the content, the best way you can support is hit the like button. Honestly, it really does wonders. I'm going to start with Thiago Silva because I just feel like there's a natural progression of this video. I want to get the positives out the way. And one thing that I saw with Thiago Silva is this means a lot. Thiago Silva is a winner and it meant a lot to him. This is 4 times now he's got into a position where he could win something at Wembley and it's not worked out for him. It was under Tuchel, a penalty shootout defeat. The second time under Tuchel, a penalty shootout defeat. Then it was against Leicester, then it was another defeat this year, and now a third time. Like, we are making it a habit to be humiliated at Wembley. Our record is actually embarrassed. And after the game, he came out and said he's had 4 good years. With the intensity of the league, the physicality of the league, the way the league is, to be playing at age 39 is unbelievable, and he's extremely basically proud of himself. And honestly, we're all proud of him because yesterday he didn't look out of place at all. He'll also confirm that he's going to have a statement, and it's the right time in the upcoming weeks to confirm what he's going to do next. With his wife holding up a flag and then saying last dance at Wembley, yo, he's leaving. Let's be honest. And he's leaving on, in my opinion, on really bad terms. It's really sad to see what his career has become in a club where it started off so well. As a free agent, he was magnificent. And all of a sudden, it festered around him into this aura of negativity. And now we need to talk about it. What makes me laugh is Thiago Silva and Noni were pictured at the end of the game, right? The scenes after the game are the most interesting ones for me as a fan, purely based on the fact you see the players that are professional and care, you see the players that have professional integrity, and you see the players that are just there for, hey, it's a vibe, I'm kicking the ball. And you know what? I think it's important that this isn't anyone perceives this as a personal attack against Noni, because it's not. It nowhere near is a personal attack against Noni. This is just me analysing what I see, right? This is not me saying Noni's a bad footballer, Noni's a horrible person, none of this. But let's look at it this way. 39-year-old Thiago Silva after the game crying, right? He's broken. It meant a lot to him. He's a winner. He wants to win. Behind him, you see Jack Grealish with Noni Madueke laughing. Noni Madueke laughing, and as fans who are emotionally invested, right? I was pissed. I woke up pissed off today. I care. So what's annoying for me is looking at Noni, and Noni doesn't care. That's how I perceive it. And you know what? He most probably cares. He's most probably going to say, look, I'm that type of person. I laugh stuff off. It's not that deep to me. It should be that deep. Because you know what really irritates me in a situation like this? He's upset. He's not upset. He showed more passion for the penalty that he wanted to take, and more frustration and more desire and more hunger than he did in a defeat where it must have stung. That performance didn't deserve Chelsea to lose. How did that not sting you? That straight after the game, on the pitch, you haven't even calmed down. This isn't 2 hours later. This isn't 3 hours later. You're just laughing there like nothing happened. Bruv, something big happened. You lost in another semi-final. Like a final defeat is already, you were on that pitch. Surely that would have been painful enough where you want to win another one. And you know what the problem is here? I think it's because He's taking it for granted. Appearances at Wembley are not meant to be taken for granted. And the problem is no one in that dressing room, apart from Thiago Silva, can tell them, yo, times like this are few and far between. They're here today, they're gone tomorrow. You need to appreciate these moments. And then we need to start talking about Noni as the individual this season. Noni Madueke is very talented. We know he's talented. However, the question needs to come up, is Noni Madueke worth the hassle for Chelsea Football Club? Because evidently, he's always in the news for the wrong reasons when it comes to Chelsea Football Club fans. And let's talk about that, because people can say, Alex, no, that he's not. Yeah, that's not fair. I've got examples. Yesterday, we lose. He's caught laughing, and people are questioning his attitude. The penalty incident, this is the second or third occasion where he's demanding to take a penalty in a dispute when he's not the penalty taker. Okay, cool. That some people are going to spin it off as hunger. He's publicly been criticized by Pochettino for going out clubbing when there was training the next day. Pochettino had to come out and have this discussion in the press conferences. Is Noni worth the hassle? And then you see the other side of Noni. Laziness. Noni tracks back as if he's a player that's achieved a lot in the game. He tracks back as if he's Ian Robin. He tracks back as if he's Eden Hazard. He tracks back as if he's Alexis Sanchez. And it's funny because Alexis Sanchez had a brilliant work rate, but Alexis never strolled back. Yet Noni strolls. And for me, what's annoying is Noni almost wants a round of applause for doing his job. There's two sides of the job. You attack and you defend. He only does one of it. And he only wants to do one of it. And for me, Chelsea need to make a massive decision this summer. Is Noni Madueke worth the drama that he brings? Because I can't lie to you. If a bid of 30 million comes in, I am selling Noni Madueke. I think he's super talented. But he's not worth the hassle. He really isn't. And then the quality question needs to come in. Because this only doesn't go for Noni. This goes for Mudryk as well. Is Mudryk and Noni good enough for Chelsea Football Club right now? Because I'll talk about Nicholas Jackson later on. But Nicholas Jackson's showing moments. The other two show glimpses. They don't show consistent moments. They show glimpses. Noni will show the occasional moment. And what I did is I played my favorite game. Who do you not start for? And this game really enables you to understand where your team should rank. Because when you can make a case that these players should start for every team in the every other 19 teams in the Premier League, you're in a good position. But in this case, I looked at Noni and I looked at Mudryk. And I played this game. And I'll quickly do this for you. Man City, no. Arsenal, no. Man United, no. Liverpool, no. Aston Villa, no. Spurs, no. That's 6 already. Yeah, that's 6 already. West Ham, he ain't better than Kudos. And the other one's not better than Bowen. Neither one of them. That's 7. Need I continue? Can you, hand on your heart, tell me right now, either one of them would start for Crystal Palace instead of Eze or Elise? No, I don't think they would. And this is where the problems lie. We're down to the 8th team now, and some would even argue Hichan and Pedro Neto are better than them. Some would even argue Sarabi is better than them. So do you see the problem here? And you know, a lot of people are going to say, we need to buy better players. We don't need to buy more experienced players. We need to buy better players. That's the line. We need to buy better players. Because Disasi is not of the quality. And he's a squad player. A lot of people are going to shout now at me, he's a squad player. Sanchez is not of the quality. Yeah, you're taking too many calculated risks. And sometimes with calculated risks, they work. And sometimes they don't. And evidently, with these two, they weren't calculated enough because they're not working. One thing I don't like about this team at the moment, right, with this Chelsea team, I feel like there are too many inbuilt excuses. And what I mean by this is, there's too many people consistently saying, this is the reason we lost. This is the reason we lost. Everything doesn't have context, it has excuses labeled on it. There's a brush and everyone's painting it with excuses. So for example, Petrovic after the game, he said, well, Manchester City, we played well, we should have taken our chances. Stop there. Stop there. He says, but you know what, looking at their age and looking at our age, it makes sense because they've got more experience. No, it doesn't make sense. Because the reality is, if Jackson takes his chances, we are celebrating today, talking smoke. I got a cigar out and I'm watching Coventry versus Manchester United and I'm like, this is going to be great. Come on, Coventry, we could win a trophy. Or come on, United, we'll beat you in the final because we beat City. But this is an inbuilt excuse and it's infesting the players' mentality. The players are thinking, this is okay, next year will be better. Why will you just be miraculously better next year? What's going to change next year? Unless there are definitive changes made. And then this is where we need to have a nice discussion about we need to buy more experience. Guys, I think the selection of words are wrong there. We don't need to buy more experience. We need to buy better quality players. Because no one can argue with me right now that Gusto isn't a good right back. He's young, he's inexperienced. Palmer isn't a good right winger. He's young, he's inexperienced. Would you tell me we had to go spend 60, 70 million on each one of those positions, or would you rather just spend 70 on the two and get two? The quality is better than the quantity you buy. And the reality here is we need to be selective with who we buy. Nicholas Jackson, I was very harsh on his finishing. He pissed me off yesterday. After the game, you need to understand, when I do match reactions, I just go. I turn on the camera and I just give you my thoughts off the cuff, and I'm an emotional fan. The reason I don't do like live streams while I watch the game is because I want to watch the game. I want to be invested into the game. I don't want to continuously be reading the chat. I don't want to interact with the chat while I'm trying to enjoy the game. And the other issue is I am very emotional when I watch games. I am so invested. I'm shouting at the TV. I'm telling this player to get into the position even though he can't hear me. I'm yelling at this player. And for me, I just don't want to be on camera doing that. I want to be a little bit more calculated on camera. But straight after the game, I will give you my thoughts, because a lot of you come for the passion that I have for this club. And some of you come for the insight. Some of you think I'm a donkey that doesn't know what I'm talking about. And that's perfectly fine. You're entitled to your opinion. And what I think is, Nicholas Jackson is a good footballer. I think Nicholas Jackson had a good game outside of his finishing yesterday. But the problem is, Nicholas Jackson needs to learn to finish. Otherwise, he can't play for Chelsea. Nicholas Jackson, a lot of people, I saw a comment from Olivia Balzagli, the journalist, and she said she feels like if Nkunku comes back and Nkunku's playing, he could be the scorer and Jackson could be the creator. She said something along those lines. Whilst I get the premises, it's wrong, because there is no excuse and there is no guarantee that Nkunku would get the chances rather than Jackson, and there is no excuse for Jackson missing the chances he missed yesterday. The first one, where he went through one-on-one, he didn't attempt a shot. The second one, he was choreographed what he was going to do, and it was a good save, yeah? And the third one is an excuse. That he's 3 yards out, has to get some sort of contact on it, and he doesn't. And we've seen that too many times with Nicholas Jackson. And we've got a decision to make with him as well. What do we do? I think we need to go buy a clinical striker. If we're not buying, try to sort your relationships out with Romelu Lukaku. It's really that simple. And then finally, the experience element of it. People are telling me, oh, we need experience. Once you get experience, everything's going to be fine. Well, Ben Chilwell has experience. He's 28 years old. He's played over 300 games, most probably in his professional career. And you saw what Ben Chilwell did at the end of the game. Ben Chilwell receives the ball, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch, 5 touch. Couldn't have the technical ability to release that ball to Raheem. And for me, this tells you everything you need to know about the individual. He's not a good footballer. He's an athlete. And more importantly, it doesn't matter how much experience you have. If you're not a good footballer, if you don't have the IQ in your brain to be a footballer rather than an athlete, you're just never going to make it. You're never going to make it. And for me, in this situation, his career is over. We need to get him off the books. Cucurella is twice the player that he is, and Cucurella isn't fantastic. And that is very sad to say. But the rant is done. I hope you lot understand where I'm coming from with it. It wasn't a personal attack on Noni. It's just highlighting the things that have occurred in this season. And we need to start questioning whether him and Mudryk are the way to go. Do we need to invest our time, or do we get rid of both of them and then we move forward from there? Because I think Cole Palmer and Jackson are worth the project investment of time. They've shown it. Then we need to talk about the players that we need to sign. It is a massive summer. It is a massive summer. And the owners and the board are going to show us how much they care with their investment this summer and how they altered the way they invest stuff. And you know what? Pochettino's job isn't safe either. I want that to be clear as day. I am not convinced with that manager either. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts. Peace out, I'm out, bye.